poetry. All right. This is a romantic poem about household utilities. You make all the noise when you want to, when your mama's not taking care of you anymore, this will be important to you. Twas on a Monday morning, the gas man came to call. The gas cap wouldn't turn, I wasn't getting gas at all. He tore out all the skirting boards to try to find the main, and I had to call a carpenter to put it back again. So it was on a Tuesday morning, the carpenter came round. He hammered and he chiseled and he said, "Look what I found! Your joists are full of dry rot, but I'll put them to rights." So he nailed right through the cable and out went all the lights. It was on a Wednesday morning, the electrician came. He called me Mr. Sanderson. It isn't quite my name. He couldn't reach the fuse box without standing on the bin, and his foot went through a window. So I called the glazier in. It was on a Thursday morning the glazier came round with his blowtorch and his putty and a merry glazier song. He put another pane in. It took no time at all, but I had to get a painter to come in and paint the wall. It was on a Friday morning the painter made a start. With undercoats and overcoats, he painted every part, every nook and cranny. But I found when he was gone, he painted over the gas tap. And I couldn't turn it on. On Saturday and Sunday, they do no work at all. So it was on Monday morning that the gas man came to call. If you can hear me, listen. All right. There's a story about a man named Henry who one day was stretched out, relaxing, enjoying doing absolutely nothing. That's one thing about women. Women don't understand how to do nothing. A man knows how to do nothing. If he's a man who's doing nothing, no one comes up and says, "Don't you have something to do?" Yeah. I'm doing nothing. Henry was doing nothing. And up comes a lovely lady named Liza. And she says, in that sweet voice that made him fall in love with her, "Go fetch me some water! Dear Henry, go fetch me some water, dear Henry, right now!" He says, "But with what shall I fetch it? Dear Liza, dear Liza. In what shall I fetch it, dear Liza, in what?" "In a bucket, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry, in a bucket, dear Henry, in a bucket." "But there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza. Dear Liza, there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, a hole." "Then plug it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry, then plug it, dear Henry, right now." "With what shall I plug it, dear Liza? Dear Liza, with what shall I plug it, dear Liza, with what?" "With straw, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry, with straw, dear Henry, right now." "But the straw is too long, dear Liza. Dear Liza, the straw is too long, dear Liza, too long." "Then cut it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then cut it, dear Henry, right now." "With what shall I cut it, dear Liza? Dear Liza, with what shall I cut it, dear Liza, with what?" "With an axe, dear Henry, with an axe, dear Henry, right now." "But the axe is too dull, dear Liza. Dear Liza, the axe is too dull, dear Liza, too dull." "Then sharpen it, dear Henry, then sharpen it, dear Henry, right now." "With what shall I sharpen it, dear Liza? Dear Liza, with what shall I sharpen it, dear Liza, with what?" "With a stone,
dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry, with a stone, dear Henry, right now.
But the stone is too dry, dear Liza. Dear Liza, the stone is too dry, dear Liza, too dry.
Then wet it, dear Henry. Dear Henry, dear Henry, then wet it, dear Henry, right now.
With what shall I wet it, dear Liza? Dear Liza, with what shall I wet it, dear Liza, with what?
With water, dear Henry, with water, dear Henry, right now.
With what shall I fetch it, dear Liza, with what shall I over here? With what shall I fetch it, dear Liza, with what?
With a bucket, dear Henry, with a bucket, dear Henry, right now.
But there's a hole in the bucket. Dear Liza, there's a hole in the bucket.